have nicked one of the many, many things we've nicked from Amazon, by the way, which basically they're amazing in terms of how they think about stuff. They have what they call bar raisers. So a bar raiser is a specific individual in Amazon who is allowed to do the final interview, and they will never be doing the final interview on someone in their team. They're always from outside the team. Yeah. So if, God forbid, Allica has hired a middle manager, one slipped through the nets, and they're kind of like traditional big bank about status and I don't do work, I manage, all these things, right? The average middle manager from a bank, they will start hiring people like them. They'll start empire building, B players, hire B players, as they famously say. You're going to start getting a pocket. The other scenario you're going to have is somebody will just get so desperate to fill the role because they're overwhelmed that they'll lower the bar. Yeah. In other words, okay, they'll do. Yeah. You can never have a they'll do. Never. It's unacceptable. A bar raiser is a veto on that. Yeah. They'll meet the person and they're like, Amazon actually say the bar raiser has to make sure they're raising the bar on the existing talent pool. I think that's impossibly hard, by the way. But that's why they call it a bar raiser. But basically, that person doesn't care that you're desperate to fill the hole, and that doesn't care that you're a B player, therefore you can't identify an A player, or you're worried about an A player showing you up. They don't care. They'll just say no, not our standard. So we have bar raisers. I'm a bar raiser. I brought in bar concept. Your interview process is built around our values and trying to sort of evidential. So don't tell me what I want to hear, but give me examples of where you've done these things and acted in these ways. My interview style, I go very deep into kind of motivations. I look for that kind of restless ambition and desire to change the world in a good way. And then, of course, your performance management has to be built around the values, and it is, by the way. So you could be the best performing salesperson at Allica, but if you don't meet the bar on leading by example or in it together, which is our collaboration things, then you can't get a high rating, right? And you can't get a good bonus. So a kind of balanced scorecard approach to performance management. There's constant battle, yeah. But there's no perfect thing. But what I would say is you have to obsess about culture, yeah. I think one of the founders of HubSpot, I think the less prominent one, the technical founder, once said, your company is going to have a culture anyway, so you might as well make sure it's one you like.